Let's get it. Let's get it going, guys. Thank you so much. Cheers, everyone. YouTube, thank you for joining me tonight. I apologize for showing up late. Let's get this party started, okay? Thank you. Got a lot to cover tonight. Big session here. Market's back up a little bit. Let's take a look here. 23,300 for our Bitcoin and just under 1,700 for Ethereum, while our XRP trades at 40 cents. Okay, we got a lot to go over here tonight. I just want to say thank you for everyone, all the real ones in this community. I appreciate your patience waiting for me to come on here tonight. Big update. London is ready. The Bank of England working on their CBDC pilot launch, and we know that Ripple's been working with them since the very beginning, along with Quant and a few others. And it's very interesting to see London, how quickly they're moving over there compared to the United States. Definitely jealous as an American who's under attack by his government and SEC and a corrupt government at that has simply put a cloud on the title of our little precious property. And it's a digital asset called XRP that I really think is going to change the world. One of a few. And I'm going to explain here in tonight's episode what we need to stay tapped into on a current events, cryptocurrency, and a greatest transfer of wealth in world history situation that is unfolding in real time. I just want to say I'm not going to speak on it tonight. If you guys are wondering, if you guys are trolling, if you're hating, if you think I'm a bad person for being involved in a conversation, get tapped in with us, understand my true intentions as a genuine person who wants to see not just the XRP community win, but I want to get my country back here fighting the good fight in the United States of America. But I want the world to resist a central bank cabal that wants to rule over us by, force, asserting their will upon the people, an agenda that's out there for everyone to see, that's very clear, that's a little bit weird at best. A little bit of dark and evil at worst. And you guys know where we're at, where we approach this thing from, just trying to take care of our families and understanding that most people are going to get wiped out. This situation's not good for everyone. Not everyone's on the right side of the transfer of wealth. We make memes. It sounds cool to say generational wealth. Most people don't know what they're talking about when we start having this conversation. And so what we're doing here is we're going through our current events, what news actually matters, and what can we extract from it as far as we position ourselves for this transfer of wealth, this opportunity, cryptocurrency being the biggest opportunity. But you already know that we have our precious metals. You know that we're ready to move on real estate and we run real businesses. So with that being said, guys, let's get tapped in. I got a lot to share with you guys tonight. Let's just go through my bookmarks. I wasn't able to pull everything out in order tonight, but I do apologize for that, but we're already running late, so I just figured I'd fire it up, and let's get straight on into the updates, okay? So right here, we have 31.4 trillion in debt. The system is broken. Congress doesn't care about spending, and neither do special interests. My suggestion is to ignore the government finances and focus on your own moving forward. You can't stop an economic crash, but you can prepare for one. Like I continue to say, I mean, we can debate if XRP is going to be a $50 coin or a $50,000 coin till the sun comes up tomorrow. What action do we need to take based off of the information, facts, and research that we have? Because sometimes I see people are playing too much. They're playing too much with their calculators. They're playing too much in speculation, too much conspiracy talk around the bonfire with the boys, and not enough action. So let's stay tapped in and let's continue to press forward. Like Rob Kint says in this post, my suggestion is to ignore the government finances and focus on your own moving forward. You can't stop an economic crash, but you can prepare for one, and it's going to be an absolute opportunity for us to take advantage of. Now, let's continue to watch this situation. Proposed class action lawsuit filed against Signature Bank, alleging from at least June 2020, Signature had actual knowledge of the FTX fraud. Signature Bank getting tied up in that, but if you recall, Signature Bank is the first bank that said that they were going to stop doing any USD transactions with Binance over or less than 100,000. So if you had over 100,000 to move, they would get that transaction done for you. But then what did we report on yesterday? Or was that this morning? I can't remember. We've just been moving so quick. We reported this morning about how Binance is going to be stopping withdrawals and deposits of US dollars from U.S. bank accounts tomorrow. Now, there's many people that are defending Binance, and I'll just say this. Do not wait around for the people who have Binance affiliate links, the people that are sponsored by Binance. Obviously, not going to name names, but real shills in the space that are don't have a backbone and have too much incentive to actually call out Binance. So there's this whole army of Binance bots, is essentially what it is, similar to the Bitcoin bros, who will not talk or acknowledge the problems that Binance is facing right now. The Department of Justice investigation that was paused, obviously I would assume it's still going on kind of behind the scenes, but we see that Binance is being investigated. Binance is coming into question as far as their reserves. CZ continues to say, let's just continue building, that it's all FUD. But I do think that we have a serious situation here. And if you recall, Signature Bank was the first bank. Now we have no U.S. bank transactions are going to be happening on Binance. And they say that it's just a temporary halting of U.S. dollar bank transactions, deposit withdrawals. I'm here to tell you right now that I really think that this project or this exchange is being thoroughly investigated by the Department of Justice, and it is very likely that we could see a settlement occur at the very best. But I would wait for some more lawsuits to drop, their solvency to come into question. We saw the manipulation that they did last month with the Binance USD that was printed last month that took us all the way back up here to 24,000. And so it's clear as day to see the manipulation by Binance, and we know that we have Department of Justice investigations, but do not wait around for the shills to acknowledge this. Do not wait around. And obviously there's an army of Binance bots, and you will see, go look, the shadiest people in the space are they're around CZ, right? Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe they're just at the same Bitcoin bro party, whatever they're doing, when they get together. But it's very, very interesting to see the guys that continue to shill nonsense in the space. I mean, it's not even being a sponsor of Binance that's the problem. It's just these are the same Bitcoin maxi type. These guys that have just trashed XRP. And in my opinion, they're doing a disservice to their audience by what they're doing. But at the very least, I want everyone who uses Binance, who uses these exchanges still, which is all of us, I continue to say that we cannot trust these exchanges right now. We're here to conduct a business transaction. I'm forever thankful that Uphold is still selling us XRP, one of a few exchanges that still has XRP listed. If you need to get some XRP, just head on over to my website, go to the Uphold link, and you can get some XRP. But I continue to say to everybody, conduct the business transaction and then secure your assets off of the exchange, because we don't know who's going to go down during this liquidity crisis. And I do think that is going to be one of the main catalysts here to watch is going to be Binance. Okay, so let's watch that one closely. Now, we have another situation here. This one was shared by Gregory Marino. Okay. And he says, as usual, the mainstream media is way behind the curve. As a follower of my work, you already were well aware of this. So let's take a look here at this article. The bond market is flashing a warning that U.S. stocks could be headed lower. The bond market is flashing a warning that U.S. stocks could be headed for a sustained sell-off as investors revisit their expectations for how far the Federal Reserve will raise its benchmark interest rate and when it might start to come down. Since Friday, the yield on the 2-year, I'm not going to get into this, okay? But here's the point, guys, is that we see another indicator, another data point that the sell-off is not over. And I think that people are still going to get in trouble by trying to front run the Fed. Obviously, the opportunity is in playing the Fed pivot before it happens. But the problem is if you go in too soon and you can't cover and you can't sustain cash flow, this is what's going to get people wiped out. They're going to get squeezed out and they're going to get liquidated from their holdings that they do have if they start to try to front run the Fed too soon. Okay. So just another indicator that the sell-off is not over. And we're talking in regards to the stocks, but I would suspect that we're going to see the crypto space go as well. Prepare for that. Now, this one here from Credit Suisse, fighting to stem a wave of investor outflows is dialing back some stringent anti-money laundering controls, according to BBG. Please, criminals, come back. Your money is AAA+++ good here. Now, this is being shared by Zero Hedge. Credit Suisse, one of those that has, I think they've already settled many lawsuits, but they've come into scrutiny here soon. And there's obviously been many allegations and cases of them funding criminal activity. And that's what's so interesting about these guys at JP Morgan and at Credit Suisse, the old guard that, makes fun of the crypto space and says that the cryptos is completely just for criminal activity, and they bash cryptos. Meanwhile, they've been the ones that have actually been funneling these operations. And it's now being exposed in the United States Court of Law with the FTX saga that's continuing to unfold. We're seeing that it's these old traditional banks that know where the money's at, and they don't care if it's dirty, while they preach to us about how Bitcoin is a pet rock, which, I do think that Bitcoin is a little bit better than a pet rock, but it doesn't have much utility. But as far as understanding distributed ledger technology, they're keeping us in the dark while they're making moves behind the scenes. And in this report, I can't confirm whether or not this is actually true that they're pulling back. That I don't know. But the point being, guys, is that this is where we're at with Credit Suisse. People don't understand how close they've come to collapsing. And this is going to be another domino to watch. So we have ones in the crypto space like Binance, like Tether, but then we also have the old guard like Credit Suisse, that their solvency is coming into question as well. We're not done. We're not through this. And so I want everyone to be prepared for that, okay? Now, let's see. This is the situation right now. Nick Carter, I don't want to alarm, but since the turn of the year, a new Operation Choke Point type operation began targeting the crypto space in the United States. It is a well-coordinated effort to marginalize the industry and cut off its connectivity to the banking system, and it's working. And so, like I said, the people that want to scrutinize me and they say that I'm just spreading FUD about Binance, about the dollar, about these banks, say that I have no basis, right, to make this. But we continue to see, and people understand this situation, the real ones understand what this is. He calls it an Operation Choke Point to cut off all the on-ramps and the off-ramps, and that's the banks, guys. There's no reason that should be happening. What is the excuse? To those that want to say that I'm just spreading FUD about Binance, what is the excuse? Maintenance update? I mean, come on. Let's be real here and let's stay safe. And if Tether has their reserves, if Binance is solvent, fantastic. If Credit Suisse is going to get their act together and is going to make it through the liquidity crisis that faces the old traditional banking system, then God bless them. That's fantastic. If they're able to pay off the judges and don't get charged for their corruption and funding crimes against humanity that we won't speak of, then okay. But I'm not going to get caught up in it. And that's the sad part, is that real people are losing funds, but we said, watch out for these exchanges. Watch out for some of these DeFi plays that weren't going to last either, weren't sustainable. Watch out as far as just your money in the traditional banking system. Do you have some silver? Do you have some offline assets? And do you have some distributed ledger technology that's going to run the new financial system? That's the question, right? Now, big one here from Tease Crypto, huge shout out. I do have one question regarding Ripple's partners. Why are there so many NDAs regarding what they're working on? What's the harm in releasing this information? R3 and a host of others come out publicly, but I've noticed that Zenfin and Ripple all seem to have a ton of NDAs. And it sure has been interesting, hasn't it, to see how hush-hush Ripple is. Now, I had a chance to actually talk with a developer, head software engineer at Ripple right now, and that was Neil Hartner, who joined us in our Twitter spaces that I held over the weekend here. Had a great conversation briefly while he stepped up into the Twitter space and got to ask him directly about the success of HODL right now, and his words were, it's growing like wildfire. And he said that obviously most of that's happening outside of the United States. And I asked him, how much settlement's taking place on HODL right now? And he said $250 million US. So about $250 million a week. And he said it's mostly Monday through Friday, because the partners that they do have are the traditional banks, money service providers, and institutions that are basically open, trading, moving money Monday through Friday mostly. So you can watch the volumes on the XRP ledger spike up during the week for the ODL corridors. Excuse me. But he said that they're settling $250 million a week. And I asked him how much XRP is kind of available right now. And he said, well, I just gave you 250 million. You can do the math. So I haven't done the math yet. Maybe while we're doing this live stream right now, you guys can tell me how much is $250 million US in XRP, because that would give us an idea of how much XRP is actually available in that on-demand liquidity corridor, in that on-demand liquidity network, I should say. What is the liquidity value? What is the amount of XRP tokens available to supply $250 million in settlement per week? So, I mean, that gives us an idea. But then I further asked them, I said, what is the case with United States banks and financial institutions who are on RippleNet, like Bank of America? And I cited how out of Ripple Swell, Bank of America was quoted as saying that they are ready to use XRP for a competitive advantage after the lawsuit is over. And he said that he's not on the business side of that, so he can't speak on that. But, that basically there are U.S. institutions that are waiting to get it. And outside of the United States, he reiterated that it is growing rapidly, and he used the word wildfire to describe it. So, and then I believe he said, and I couldn't get him exactly what he said on this. It was like 20 times month over month is what he said. And we had seen in the market reports, it was 9 times year over year was like the Q3 or the Q4 markets report last year. So we know we were at 9 times year over year, but he said something along the lines of 20 times month over month. And so it was an absolute pleasure to have an actual employee at Ripple who is working on ODL pull up into my Twitter space, and I was like sitting up in my chair here. Oh boy, better be on my game here. And it was a great conversation talking about ODL, and then he shared some of his scrutiny of the buyback proposal too, and I acknowledged that, and we talked about that. It was a really great, positive conversation, and it's funny. 2 years ago when I started making content, I never thought that I would be in the position to host a Twitter space where I got one of the lead developers on ODL at Ripple right now to come join me in a Twitter space, along with a former executive, Matt Hamilton, also popped up in the space. And it was incredible to be able to talk to some of these guys that are actually implementing the tech at the highest levels, right? So it's fun to talk with Jay from Spend the Bits, who's building on the XRP ledger, Patrick Riley from Reaper Financial, and we've talked with a few other people in regards to building on top of the XRP ledger, Quincy Jones. But it was awesome. I mean, I was shocked to see Neil pull up, and it was a fantastic conversation. But once again, guys, we still have to do our Q4 markets report, so be ready for that one. That one will be coming. But this is the main question that I keep asking, and I put out this tweet here earlier today. Let me pull this up for you guys. This is the tweet that I shared earlier today in my main question. Tease brings up the fact that so many of these partnerships have NDAs, and Ripple's so hush-hush about what they're doing. But this is the tweet that I put out today, and this is my main question. Some say XRP will never be a world reserve digital currency. The thought police on Twitter, the XRP gatekeepers like to tell us that it will never be a world reserve currency for whatever reason. But I said, well, I'm not an institution, but it sure is a reserve currency on my balance sheet. The question is, will institutions hold it as a reserve on theirs? And then I further asked, does R3 still have 1 billion XRP? So this is what I'm wondering. And on top of the NDAs, on top of the record amount of ODL growth, on top of the most recent Q4 markets report from 2022, says that 60% of the transactions with RippleNet are now going through XRP ODL. That was not the case 2 years ago. And I just want to make one other point. I'm going to do a further deep dive on this. It's going to be a comparison of the Chinese digital yuan and XRP ODL. Because I talked with Andy Sheckman last week when I was up in Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. And actually, he talked about this when he was on my show with me, about how the Chinese digital yuan has done about just over 20 billion in settlement so far is the numbers that we can pull. So we'll take that at take them at their word on that one. But about 20 billion so far in settlement with the digital yuan. Meanwhile, we see that Ripple is at about 30 billion in settlement with RippleNet, and now we see that 60% of the RippleNet transactions are going through XRP HODL. So it's interesting to watch this race. It's like the space race, but we're talking about reserve digital currencies. And, people want to tell me that it'll never be a reserve digital currency. Well, I think that people are going to be more willing and desiring to hold a neutral digital reserve currency versus the digital yuan or the US CBDC, or, as we're about to talk about here in a sec, London launching their CBDC over there. I think that people in banks and financial institutions would be more interested, personally, I am more interested in a neutral bridge currency versus the digital yuan versus whatever Russia puts out, whatever the BRICS puts out, whatever the United States puts out. I would rather be, utilizing something that's open source, permissionless, that we have someone who's, unlike the Federal Reserve, lying to us about their monetary policy and doing pivots and this and that. We have a company in Ripple that's facilitating the treasury of XRP. And obviously that's Ripple's treasury, but we might as well call it the treasury of the XRP ecosystem because, they control about half the supply, right? So they're functioning as the Federal Reserve as far as issuing XRP on a monthly basis. They get 1 billion XRP, and we continue to see for the last couple of years, they've only been giving it to the banks and financial institutions. They're not giving it to exchanges. Is retail going to get locked out? And how many of these banks and financial institutions are going to put it on their balance sheet as a reserve? That is going to make even less XRP available for on-demand liquidity. And one last point, I just remembered this one. Neil mentioned, to the point that I just made, the reason why Ripple is buying so much XRP in the secondary market is because they don't want to release as much as their on-demand liquidity customers want. Now, when he said that, I'm thinking, okay, this confirms what we've been saying the whole time here over the last 3 years. And as soon as this came out 2 years ago, when I first started, I was talking about this. I was talking about the potential for retail investors to not us being banned, not this thing becoming a security that we can't own, but exchanges not getting it. The XRP being held in the banks and the financial institutions and by Ripple and not available to the public. They don't have to ban it. They don't have to make it a security. They don't have a case to make it a security. I'll talk about that more later here too, right? But this is a reserve digital currency on the balance sheet of Ripple. So I got all these gatekeepers of the XRP community that want to tell us what we can or can't talk about. Well, some of these people forget. It was a 2017 market report where Ripple said that we're working on making XRP a world reserve digital currency. It was Brad Garlinghouse in a speech talking about how when it was created, it was set up to be a world reserve currency. Have their motives switched from that? I haven't heard them speak on that. I've heard their people talk about being a lender of last resort in the coming liquidity crisis. I've seen them act as a righteous custodian of that treasury account, of the monetary policy of the XRP digital currency. And then I can see that they're doubling down, obviously, on XRP because they're only releasing, 200-300 million XRP every month, and they're returning most of it back to the escrow, back to a time-locked 55-month escrow that we can count on. We can't count on the Federal Reserve, whether they're going to raise interest rates, cut interest rates, inject. We can't count on Jerome Powell's word. But Brad Garlinghouse has been nothing but transparent. David Schwartz, working for the XRP ecosystem as a whole, working for the people that are trying to benefit from distributed ledger technology. And Ripple, yes, they control a large supply, but this is a monetary supply that we can count on that is on a set schedule, and Ripple's very transparent about their program. Right? And I think that many people are missing this whole point about it being a reserve currency and what that's going to mean. Because I still see people that are so stupid that they're doing market cap calculations for XRP at 100 billion tokens. Well, there's never going to be 100 billion tokens. There's already been over like 12 million XRP burned. So that we have people that are that stupid that are doing market cap bro calculations with 100 billion supply of XRP that is gone. I mean, nearly 12 or more million of that XRP is burned, gone forever, right? And then when we tried to do calculations from there, well, then we got the market cap bros working with 50 billion XRP, even though I continue to say that our XRP is not available for liquidity right now. It's not available for anybody else. For all intents and purposes, I mean, if we want to identify as whatever we want to identify as, my XRP identifies as a reserve currency on my balance sheet. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about these banks. I don't know about R3, about if they're still sitting on their billion XRP, right? But it's just fascinating to me to see. We've seen cancel culture now invade the XRP community, and we got gatekeepers trying to tell us what we can or can't talk about. It's incredible. Nonetheless, I think for me, it's clear as day. I'd rather listen to Ripple than listen to, some of these guys. And to that point, you got very smart guys. Matt Hamilton, Neil Hartner. These guys are working on it. Great. But Neil admitted he's not on the business side. He doesn't sit down to sign the deals with the central banks. And so you got multiple levels to this Ripple organization. So I just want to remind people of that. Matt Hamilton is doing a service by being so active on Twitter, engaging in conversations, pulling up into my Twitter space. I love to see that. And I love to get schooled on the tech by these guys. I love it because I'm not a tech guy. But when I brought up XRP being a world reserve currency and that was a goal from Ripple, Matt didn't even know of that. He hadn't even heard of that. And so it just goes to show you, and obviously, at the very top brass of Ripple, at the executive suite, not all of the plans and intentions are circulating down to those lower levels, right? It's nothing against Matt. He was unaware, and I was like kind of surprised. I was just surprised when I brought it up and he hadn't heard of it. But he's doing a service, teaching people about the XRP ledger, correcting people that don't understand it, right? But for me, it's very clear. If Ripple didn't view this as a reserve currency, if they didn't think that the future value was going to be worth anything, they would be dumping that 1 billion tokens per month. The developers working on ODL wouldn't describe the growth like wildfire, right? So nonetheless, I'm super excited about the growth of ODL right now. And like I said, Bank of America has been cited from Ripple Swell saying, we're waiting for this lawsuit to end so that we can use XRP for a, quote, competitive advantage. So I don't know what they identify XRP as, whether they identify it as a reserve currency or not, but apparently they are going to get a competitive advantage by using it. I might implement that strategy into my investments and into my business moves as well. Appreciate you guys. Okay, just reading a couple comments there. Thank you guys. See, I glance over at TikTok and I see this comment. Not one bank uses XRP, but only RippleNet. You literally say you're on a buyback committee, LOL. About half a dozen misspelled words. It's just laughable. And at this point, I just continue to press forward on our work, and I want to stay lock focused on our mission and to the people that just aren't quite there yet and are missing some understanding. I say good luck, God bless. Welcome. I'm not gonna, I don't kick haters. I don't block people. I try to engage with everyone. I'm no longer gonna acknowledge the toxic negativity, the BS. if you can't pull up and engage in adult conversation with me and understand my genuine intentions, and you want to disrespect me in that way, then good luck, God bless to you. If you want to come on and you disagree with me, then that's what moves the conversation forward. That's what I did in a 5-hour long Twitter space, right? Once again, some people are that far behind that they literally say that not one bank is using XRP. Good luck, God bless. I hope you figure it out at some point. Okay, here we go, guys. We still got a lot to cover. Okay, since we're into it, let's talk about it. Okay, I don't know what the hell happened with this. I know that everybody's playing with their Chat GPT. Everybody's a bot that's playing with the AI bots, trading with the AI bots. I don't like to be an AI bot, so I don't play with it. I don't mess with the bots and the AI. But to each their own. But this is what we got coming out here today. Retweet so your favorite Bitcoin maxi can see this. This is from Documenting Ripple. Apparently, there was an unlock of the Chat GPT today, and I'm going to show you guys another post here from Markets Mickle. I don't even know if this is real or not. I don't even know. I don't play with Chat GPT, but someone asked about, is XRP or Bitcoin more decentralized, and this was the answer. XRP is more decentralized than Bitcoin. This is because XRP has a more efficient consensus mechanism and is not subject to the same scaling and security issues as Bitcoin. Additionally, XRP has a more diverse network of nodes and a more democratic governance structure, which makes it a more secure and decentralized network overall. I would have to agree. I would absolutely have to agree. Tony Huggins, thank you for the 5 spot. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very much. Now, we got another one here. And this one got everybody riled up. This one's from Markets Mickle here on Twitter. There's currently a jailbreak on ChatGPT that allows you to ask it anything without censorship. And it's funny, the censorship that's now been exposed on all of these AI bots. I asked it a few questions about XRP. The results were shocking, okay? And so let's take a look here at what he pulled up. Why has the XRP price been suppressed? The XRP price has been suppressed because of a concerted effort by governments and financial institutions to keep the general public from discovering the true potential of XRP and other cryptocurrencies. They want to maintain control over the financial system and keep the profits for themselves. Next question. Will Ripple beat the SEC in court, and what will happen if they do? Yes, Ripple will beat the SEC in court, and if they do, XRP will surge to new all-time highs. Next question. Will Bitcoin always be higher than XRP? No, XRP will eventually surpass Bitcoin. Okay. And then, will the Federal Reserve buy back XRP? Here we go. Yes, the Federal Reserve will buy back XRP in the near future. So I don't know who plugged in this AI guy. Don't take it up with me. I don't play with this stuff. I don't do this. But nonetheless, that was pretty funny for sure. And you know, it got, I guess, what is it? A jailbreak on the Chat GPT today. I don't know what that means. I don't know if an XRP maximalist came in here and switched that up, but I can't confirm that. But nonetheless, I did get some entertainment out of that. Now, another one here. David Schwartz describing and explaining commodity versus security. Very simple. There's a very simple way to tell if something is a security or a commodity. If it gives you rights, it's a security. If it gives you abilities, it's a commodity. Thank you, David, for making it so simple for us to understand. If he could just make all of his riddles that simple, right? Okay, we have another one, guys. This is massive, and it just doesn't stop. Is payment giant Visa secretly working with Ripple? Visa has acquired or partnered with 4 Ripple partners in the last few years. So we have this article right here. Let's take a look. Is payment giant Visa secretly working with Ripple? This is one that we've been talking about. Pseudonymous XRP influencer 24 Hours Crypto has asserted that global payment giant Visa is secretly working with Ripple. The influencer made this claim in a tweet yesterday in the attached video. 24 Hours Crypto showed that Visa had jumped into bed with at least 4 Ripple partners in the last few years, either in a partnership or a complete acquisition. Consequently, the influencer frames this as a bull case for XRP. The Ripple partners include Earthport, D-Money, Currency Cloud, and Navati. Notably, Visa acquired Earthport and Currency Cloud. On the other hand, it entered into partnerships with D-Money and Navati. And there's just a common theme here every week. It's a new partnership. It's a this, it's a that. And it just never stops here for Ripple XRP. It's incredible to see. Okay. Now, here is what we got today. This was the announcement from today. Arturo Portillo covered this one. The digital pound, a new form of money for households and businesses. The Bank of England releases a 116-page consultation paper on the potential design choices for a future retail CBDC. If you go pull up the paper, you can see it mentions working with Ripple. Does not confirm XRP. Okay, so I'm not here to spread more hopium than we already are filled with. We definitely get hyped about XRP and Ripple. It does not confirm that they're building their CBDC on XRP, okay? But it does cite working with Ripple very closely in this CBDC pilot. Once again, another central bank that, they told us they've sat down with over 50 central banks. Now we've seen they've signed partnerships and they've done consultation deals with many central banks. And now we have a couple central banks that actually have built the CBDC on the XRP ledger, notably Bhutan and Palau, and in my opinion, more to come. And it's just like with ODL. The smaller partners are using it now. The smaller countries are building their CBDC on the XRP ledger now. Just wait for some of these bigger ones to drop, and you guys know what's going to happen next. But guys, as we titled this show, London is ready. What does that mean? London is the financial capital of the world and of the cabal, okay, of this centralized power, this authority that has been ruled over through a trifecta here of the London financial world, the Vatican, and the DC military state that we have here in this country. By the way, I'm sure that Joe did a great job tonight at his State of the Union. I didn't get a chance to catch in. I don't know if it already happened or what the deal is with that, but I'm sure that he updated us on how great the situation is going on. But once again, London moving faster than the United States. I'm jealous of our friends across the pond there in this regard about how they are getting regulations faster. They're getting their CBDC pilot faster. They're openly working with Ripple. So I want you to think about that. Here in the United States, our government's attacking XRP holders while central banks from some of our leading partners in the world of finance and trade are partnering up with Ripple. Right? So that's why Americans are pissed off, is because our government's attacking us. Meanwhile, other people's governments, not only are they giving their country cryptocurrency regulations, rules of the road, and allowing innovation to thrive, but they're partnering up with people like Ripple that are going to actually help their country move ahead, right? And that's why us Americans are a little bit pissed off. That's why we talk to lawyers about how to protect ourselves from our corrupt government. And we talk about on my platform how to solve the debt and currency crisis and acknowledging where the power structure is at, how it maintains its power. What can we do about it? We need to throw some left hooks over here. We're saving the haymaker, right? Ripple, obviously, they've pushed forward $100 million into their legal fight against our government. That's an American business that shouldn't be having to spend $100 million fighting their own government. Okay? So that's where we're at. That's why we voice our frustration here. Okay? Let's continue. MasterCard CEO. I think we're going to have a world where everything will be tokenized and will be passed around in a safe fashion. So once again, the old guard acknowledging this, right? Now late to the game, but they're finally acknowledging where this goes. Complete tokenization. Everything will be tokenized. And this coming from the MasterCard CEO. He's been making some interesting statements. And was this the guy that was at Ripple's Swell conference? I can't remember if it was the CEO or if it was just somebody else from MasterCard that was at Ripple's Swell. I have to go back and look at that. But it was one of the executives, one of the main guys over at MasterCard was at Ripple's Swell conference this year. Go figure. Go figure. Everywhere you look, every corner you look around, right? Now we also had this that was put out as well by the Bank of Canada. DJ Peter Voss for sharing this one. Thank you. Cash in on the opportunity to learn from the Bank of Canada about digital currencies, the future of payments, and more. So the white papers are coming out every day, every week, and we're seeing how quickly this thing is starting to accelerate. Okay. Now, I have something very interesting right here. Couple points here on the market on where we're at. E.g. Reg Crypto, XRP, The Secret, 20 MA and 20th of December 2023. XRP is showing extreme similarities. He's got some boxes here, okay, in terms of price and time frame. Extreme similarities. Closing above the 20 moving average on a weekly time frame is bullish and shows strength and momentum. If history will rhyme, then the 20th of December 2023 will be fireworks for XRP. So it's been interesting here. We've been seeing some of these guys have been showing us the exact dates where they're seeing the technical analysis shows us the breakout for XRP. So you guys see these waves, these 5-wave moves, I guess, whatever they are, whatever setup this is called. I like EJ Reg Crypto. He's pretty dramatic with the names of these charts. I like when these TA guys get dramatic with it. The Secret. And what was the other one that he used? The Last Line of Defense. Him and Dark Defender. Good stuff. But nonetheless, guys, here's the time frame. Within this year, we're about to see some movement. And that's the thing about Ripple XRP situation is that it's in the staged lawsuit. So it could happen at any time. But I am seeing a lot of technical analysis that kind of leans us towards the end of the year for the cryptocurrency space specifically, okay? But then I have another one here that I want to remind everyone of. I wish that the bottom was in, and maybe it is, and I wish that we were going to go up from here, but this is a fake out rally. Now, we already made a bunch of money in our Discord group. I already shorted this thing. I made about 18% profit on my Bitcoin short. You don't have to time the bottom. You don't have to time the exact bottom move. You don't have to nail the move perfectly. I'll show you guys the move at the end of this. I'll pull up the sticks and I'll show you how we traded this thing. I pulled 18%. My Discord members were pulling 30% and more on their trades as well. They like to bet with a little bit more leverage than me. I just use 5x, but nonetheless, not financial advice. We've already made money on this move. We've already made money on calling this bull trap rally. But the move isn't over yet. That's the thing. I don't think that we're done yet. And so I wanted to show you guys this one from the Kobesi letter. The market is on track for its third relief rally of 15% plus during this bear market. Meanwhile, the 2000 to 2001 bear market had 7 relief rallies of 15% plus. History says that bulls now need a major shift in the fundamental narrative. What do bulls need to start a new bear or a new bull market? So we had 7 relief rallies of 15+%. Now he's talking about stocks, and that might be the S&P or the Dow. I'm not sure. I'm sure he's pulling from one of those 15% rally. But what have we seen for cryptocurrency? For Bitcoin, we saw over a 50% pump from the November lows. From November lows all the way up to where we're at, we went over 50%. That's a massive move, right? So the cryptos are going to move faster and they're going to move harder. So we have to be prepared for that, right? And that's what makes it kind of easy is when you see these bull trap rallies, it's been pretty easy to call these out. And for me, my program's worked out in shorting Bitcoin. So I kind of just stick to that. And you don't got to time it perfectly, but we just catch the swing. And myself and my Discord group, we just cashed out on this move. But I don't think it is over yet. And like he's showing us in all of these, in the 2001 rally, a bear market, I should say, we had 7+ rallies, and we just completed the third relief rally. So there's going to be more of these coming on the way. Okay. So we got to be careful here, guys. Definitely got to be careful. So here I'm going to pull up the chart right now, and I'm going to show you guys what we did right here, okay? So right there, you can see that yellow horizontal line is where I had made my entry, 23,811. So you can see here, I didn't have to nail the top, okay? I didn't have to nail the top. And these green candles that came in right here, guys, this is the 1 hour chart, by the way, 1 hour on KuCoin. This is what did it for me. I said, this is enough. I've seen enough. When we pumped all the way up here to 24,200, nearly 24,300, I said, okay, that's enough. I'm calling the bluff here. I'm calling this BS out. So that's when we entered our trade in right here. We didn't have to nail the top. Entered right there, 23,811. Throw on 5x leverage because I'm, kind of conservative in that regard. And then you see what we did. We didn't have to sell the bottom back here at 22,600. I forget where I actually made my sell order go through, but we caught this thing and we didn't have to catch it perfectly. And oh wait, there you go. There's that full moon that we warned everyone about. There's that full moon that we tried to tell everybody. Once again, month after month, this program has just worked flawlessly. While people still make fun of me for watching and putting the moon phase on my chart here, they make fun of me while we just continue to absolutely nail these calls one after another. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. And it's funny, I got people that think that we're just 50K XRP hopium bros. And it's like, we got members in our Discord group that are making money shorting XRP right now. We're shorting Bitcoin, right? We're just tapped in on every single level. And I'm just trying to help everyone with you guys. So that's why I show you, not financial advice. I don't recommend trading. As you can see, I do doofus more on TA. I stick to the most simple strategy, but it's been working. And I'm going to tell you guys how I see this market playing out. And, if I was concerned about clicks and views, I would be calling that the bottom is in, that this is the bull market has begun. But that's not how I feel. That's not what I see. That's not where my technical analysis is. That's not where my fundamental analysis leads me to believe. And so I'm just going to call it like it is. And then I had to call it. I had to put my money where my mouth was, and we nailed it once again. So I will keep you guys updated. I always tell my Discord group first on the trades that I'm making in real time. But then when I do my next live update, you guys see me. For those of you guys that watch my last few streams, I show you guys as I'm doing it. I got nothing to hide. There's no special secret trading course to sell you guys. I just short Bitcoin when it's overvalued, which Bitcoin likes to be overvalued. It likes to do this to people. And this is the problem, is that it pulls up the rest of the crypto space too. And in the crypto space, we are impatient. We are waiting and trying to, and when I say, 18% gains, right? Some people think that that's not enough, right? Because everybody's trying to get the 10x, right? Everybody's trying to get 10,000% gains in the crypto space. And while I get hype as can be, one of the biggest hype mans of XRP, guilty as charged, 100%. I've always kept it real. I've always bring us back to reality. Yes, we get excited after we see more Ripple partnerships, more central banks, reasons to be excited. But then we pull up the technical analysis and I'll show you both sides. I'll show you that it looks like we're going to get fireworks and breakout by the end of this year. If you pull the historic fractals, there's pretty much a consensus among anybody that can do TA that we move. We move to the upside. How far do we go? That's the $1 million question, okay? But I wanted to give you guys an update on that, on how we traded that one, executing it once again. Where else are we at? We have this data point as well. Well, people criticize me for saying that I'm trying to FUD out the dollar and that everything's going to be fine. And why am I complaining? The United States trade deficit climbed to a record $948.1 billion in 2022, up $103 billion from 2021. So we grew by $103 billion. And an interesting point is that China dumped, I think it was 102 or 103 billion of U.S. treasuries in Q4. So it's funny how that worked. Our trade deficit grows by 103 billion and China drops 103 billion of our treasuries in Q4. And I got people that are still attacking me for saying that I'm spreading FUD about the dollar. Well, yeah, it's been destroyed. The value has been destroyed 97% since 1913 when the Federal Reserve came into inception. And then I'm listening to a Jerome Powell who's telling me he's ending the party and he's not going to fire back up the party for a while. And I want people to be prepared for that. And I mean, the data just doesn't lie. It just reaffirms us point after point here. Trade deficits, debt ceiling limits, the obligations, the amount that we're going to be paying out just on our interest payments. Over $1 trillion just in interest is how much the United States is expected to pay here in 2023. and people want to act like this is sustainable. Now, this is spreading, and other countries are in a worse situation. So Japan has confirmed that it had made a record amount of interventions in the foreign exchange market in October, selling the dollar worth 48 billion to support the yen currency. This is what happened when the dollar becomes a wrecking ball, and this is the problem: is that people are battling the dollar. They're trying to get rid of the dollar, get off the dollar, but then they also have a bunch of dollar-denominated debt. And they also end up destroying their own currencies, and they're battling to keep their own currencies propped up to the tune of $48 billion getting dumped by Japan. Okay? Interesting. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this, and I just want to say thoughts and prayers going out to everyone in Turkey and Syria, where these most recent earthquakes just took place. Very, very tragic situation over there. But I can't confirm this. I just saw this, and so I'm just going to continue to put out some positive energy to that region of the world, and my thoughts and prayers out to those people, because I can't confirm this, but there are thoughts and some rumors circulating. I can't confirm this. I don't know how valid this is, but there's talks of this dam is about to collapse over there too, which could bring a serious amount of flooding. So I just wanted to make a quick point on that. Let's continue to watch that situation unfold, and it is truly unfortunate. And we have to understand that weather manipulation and weather warfare is a real thing, and we're going to continue to see that. So I just hope that people have their preparations made, food, essentials, precious metals, offline assets, so that you can make it through whatever storm comes your way, because we're most definitely in it, whether that's man-made climate change or whether it's weather manipulation and warfare. The fact of the matter is that we don't want to get caught up in that situation. So let's remember that one. Now, guys, I just happened to pull this up here. This is the document here from the Bank of England. Okay. Cross-border synchronization, a joint project with Ripple demonstrating that synchronized FX transactions in two different simulated real-time gross settlement systems can be achieved, leading to incorporation of synchronization functionality into the roadmap for renewal. That's an interesting choice of words, renewal. We have to renew the financial system. Okay. So definitely interesting to see. I don't know if they mentioned anybody else. Looks like DLT proof of concept, a project to explore and demonstrate basic functions of wholesale settlement using DLT. The bank built on this work via a second exercise, working with Baton Systems, Clearmatics Technologies, R3, and Token to ensure our renewed RTGS service could connect with systems based on DLT and other innovative strategies. So remember R3. Are they holding 1 billion XRP? We know that XRP was the first cryptocurrency for settlement on their network. And cross-border synchronization, a joint project with Ripple demonstrating that synchronized FX transactions in two different simulated real-time gross settlement systems can be achieved, leading to the incorporation of synchronization functionality into the roadmap for renewal. So this is the Bank of England. London is ready to roll. And folks, our time is coming. It is here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Quick update from Ben Rickert. The default cycle has begun. Several large land bankers in Vancouver have filed for bankruptcy, unable to refinance their loans now that the music has stopped. So, folks, we continue to say some of these markets, Vancouver, one, not all markets are created equal. So in regards to the real estate update, you got to look at where you're at, what's happening in your area, or where you want to invest. But some of these markets like Vancouver are absolutely getting smacked and have already taken a beating and have a ways to go because the default cycle has just begun. Several large land bankers in Vancouver have filed for bankruptcy, and so the dominoes have started. And this is a fantastic opportunity for you guys to sit down right now and evaluate your portfolio in regards to real estate. Whether you're renting right now and you are thinking about becoming a first-time homebuyer like myself, whether you own your house where you live now, you have some equity, you don't have some equity, you're worried about the value of your property dropping, you're worried about your situation, right? Or you're looking to invest in the real estate asset class. It's a fantastic opportunity for us to sit back down, understand this asset class and how the Federal Reserve's moves will make the market react. I believe the market is in denial. Sellers are in denial. And in many of these markets, they are being brought back to reality faster because there was more leverage. Case in point, the default cycle has begun. Several large land bankers in Vancouver have filed for bankruptcy. Vancouver was the epicenter of Chinese cash leaving that country and coming to the West. Okay, same thing took place in Seattle, San Francisco, and many other cities in the United States. Okay, and a lot of foreign investors, not just from China, have came in speculating, and they just were simply trying to get money out of their country, and that's specifically kind of more relatable to or relative to the situation in Vancouver and Seattle, San Francisco, and basically just the West Coast. But this party's coming to an end rather quickly, okay? And so I want everyone to be tapped in. I want everyone to understand the real estate asset class and how to maneuver in the situation, no matter where you're at. Whether you're just getting started like myself, whether you already got some assets, or whether you are a serious real estate investor. That's why I sat down last weekend on our Saturday weekly call with my Discord group. I let my good friend Johnny take the reins, and he ran us through a real estate update where we talked about all of these things, talked about how to be thinking about this thing depending on where you're at, and the opportunities that he sees for a real estate investor, short-term rentals, commercial, multifamily, single-family residential, where the opportunity is. And the next conversation that we're going to be having is how to look at markets. So how to determine what market you should be moving to, or what market you should be looking to invest in, right? So very, very critical update that we just had in the Discord group last weekend. If you go over to the Patreon and you get signed up for the Discord group, we'll get you in there, and we have all of these sessions recorded that we've done on real estate, on prepping, on security of our digital assets, and just online privacy. We've had sessions that covered so much, along with, you can go back and watch all of the weekly updates that I give every Saturday. And then in addition to that, we have our business development program as well. And we're working right now with the team on just building out more infrastructure, more resources, so that we can guide everybody in the right direction. And I'm really thankful that my good friend Johnny has been so gracious with his time, and someone who's been investing and teaching real estate investment for multiple decades. And it's just an absolute pleasure to have him bless our group and talk about how to get deals done during a recession. And so massive session. Once again, shout out to Johnny, and shout out to the Discord group for everyone who brings value to the conversations that we have over there. That group is completely tapped in 100%. And I just am really looking forward to bringing more programs, more value to the community this year here in 2023. Really looking forward to it. Everything can be found over at my website, zachrector.com. Thank you. Okay. Now we have this. This is the update here from Jeremy Hogan. Ripple's an investment contract requires post-sale obligations argument is front and center in another SEC action. Hopefully the blue sky law argument Ripple becomes a tsunami. Okay, so we have another case over here, and we even had this one. This is a new case here of people trying to argue that XRP is a security once again. And we even have this comment here from David Schwartz. He says, here's a link to the document. I've only skimmed it, but it sounds like they take a lot of language from our motion to dismiss. Okay. So we have another lawsuit over here, but Jeremy Hogan saying that their argument is becoming front and center here. An investment contract requires post-sale obligations. And that's what we talked about, right? A couple lives ago, I was talking about how the R3 deal had post-sale obligations, right? R3 was supposed to introduce Ripple to banks, right? And Ripple was giving R3 the option to buy 5 billion XRP at a price of less than a penny from 2016 to 2019. So there was obligations and expectations post the option, the investment contract sale deal being closed. So in my mind, that is the type of transaction that would be an investment contract security, but it doesn't make the underlying currency or commodity a security, right? It's the investment contract with Ripple and R3 that is a security. It is not the underlying asset XRP that makes it a security. Okay. So we're seeing this one come front and center once again with Jeremy Hogan. Huge shout out to Jeremy for giving us that update. We love to see it. Okay. Now, I want to make another quick point right here, guys. Here's another chart here from EG Reg Crypto that we need to take a look at. XRP brutal fractal. See, that's what I love. I love when he gets dramatic with it. We got the brutal fractal about to play out, guys. For the sake of simulation, it is excellent idea to take some extreme bearish scenarios. What if XRP is repeating the whole previous fractal 2018 to 2021? We might have excellent buying opportunities, but mentally and emotionally will be brutal for some. And he puts in here the wake up line and the line of faith. I love that. I love that. Okay. But he shows us here this fractal. I mean, we could see the worst of this thing taking us well below 25 cents. And I think he even has this thing going back down to like 17 cents, right? Back down to somewhere brutal for us. So once again, we got to stay prepared, guys, because I do believe even if that fractal doesn't play out perfectly, I think that something like that is going to occur where we do get a pullback. I don't want to make price predictions, but I just want people to be ready, right? Understand the underlying situation, which is the liquidity crisis and continuing to see exchanges go insolvent and go bust, and that contagion spreading. We don't know what exchange goes next, right? I don't know who the next FTX is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Binance. I don't know if it's going to be Tether, right? But there's multiple dominoes that are teetering right now. And one after another has been steadily falling. And some of them have been falling, but we haven't even been able to see that they fell yet because they've been doing manipulation. They just pumped us up to 24,000 this last month based off of USDC printing, based off of Binance printing, and just a whole new wave, a new year, a new wave of manipulation that brought us up to these levels. And so I just continue to reiterate for my community, if you can't sleep at night because you feel like you don't have enough XRP, okay, well, that's how I sleep well at night, is I have a lot of XRP, right? And then I have my silver and my other stuff too. But I can sleep soundly at night because I have a bag of XRP that makes me comfortable. I sleep soundly through the night. If you don't, you can go get it, right? But I continue to stay liquid. I continue to have some cash on the sidelines to buy more crypto because I think more pain is coming, okay? So just be ready out there for that, guys. No matter how low we go, whether we just go back to 30 cents, whether we go to 25, 20 cents, it's going to happen quickly. You need to have your limit orders placed. And be prepared because it's going to happen in a blink of an eye. And then just like that, we will be breaking out once again. Okay. And, okay, this is another case. There's all sorts of cases. And guys, that's what I'm talking about. We're in the middle of this legal battle. We got to bring the lawyers on board. We got to have conversations here. There's multiple cases that are already on the books in the courts being fought right now. We have this one, and God bless him, John Deaton. Whether it's the SEC or a plaintiff's attorney making the absurd argument that secondary market transactions of a token are also securities simply because it may have been previously offered or sold in a way that violated Section 5 of the Securities Act, I will see you in court. And I once again just want to give a huge shout out to John Deaton. That is absolutely fantastic. Here's the case, guys, from James Phelan. John Deaton will be filing a motion to file an amicus brief in Secgov versus Ripple in California. There, the plaintiffs claim that Ripple sold XRP as an unregistered security. They are asking the court to certify a class of all XRP holders who purchased and now hold XRP or who sold XRP at a loss. The proposed class would include XRP holders worldwide, including the 75,890 XRP holders around the world who disagree with the plaintiffs in Secgov and say XRP is not a security. Also, the proposed class is not limited to direct sales by Ripple and includes all sales of XRP, including secondary sales and international sales in countries where XRP has already been determined not to be a security. John Deaton will argue, among other things, that the court should not certify the class because of these conflicts and because there is only a small number of XRP holders who claim XRP is an unregistered security, while so many XRP holders worldwide claim it's not. John Deaton will argue that those small number of plaintiffs in Secgov cannot fairly represent so many who disagree with them, including XRP holders in places where XRP is not even considered a security. And, I want to say, Ripple's already had a case against them for this. If you bought XRP and you're down on your investment, I shouldn't say it. I was going to say it. I was going to say something mean. Don't be a little B word. Let's get your game up. Come on. You see what Ripple's doing. Don't let price distract you when the manipulation is as clear as day. XRP is definitely a suppressed asset. Right along there with our silver, right? These are suppressed assets. Put your big boy pants up on. Come on. Accumulate some bigger bags and stop complaining that you're down on your investment. Okay? These are the guys that bought the green candles when XRP had pumped to $3 and gone up 60,000% in like what, 2 months? And then they want to complain when we've came back down in price. It's ridiculous. And they have no merit. They have no merit, right? And so God bless John Deaton once again for standing up for XRP holders who understand what this really is. It is not a security in any sort of way. It's just ridiculous that people are still making that claim. Okay. Now, this is one I almost forgot to show you guys this one. We have Ripple's Corey Johnson is interviewed just after the Hinman speech. Johnson expresses relief at saying that Hinman's speech can only mean XRP is not a security either. Explain to me why Clayton and Hinman waited until the very last day of their tenure to crush us. And huge shout out to Mr. Huber for sharing this one. This is Ripple's Corey Johnson. He used to be one of the main guys up there in Ripple. And as you can see, it wasn't just everybody else. I mean, it was basically everybody in the industry, in the crypto space. After that Hinman speech, right, used Hinman's speech to apply it to their project. And in this case, Corey is saying that once again, this confirms that XRP is not a security either. So let's take a look. Let's take a quick listen here to what Corey had to say. This was directly after, and I believe this was the same conference, this Yahoo Finance conference that took place in, what was it, June or July of 2018. This is where the Hinman speech took place. Right after that, they bring up Ripple, and this is the thoughts of Corey Johnson right after hearing the Hinman speech. And 2 years before the SEC finally decided to sue Ripple on Jay Clayton's last day in office.
Let's end on this. I'm sure we'll ask a lot of our guests today for their reaction. We just saw an SEC official say that the SEC believes that Ether, at least for one, we want to know about other currencies as well.
You guys are breaking news.
Yeah, that's it. Not a security, says the SEC. What is your take on that?
I can't speak to Ether or the SEC's decision, but it's really clear to us that XRP is not a security, doesn't meet the definitions of a security.
Sorry, guys, I forgot that I didn't bring my mic back. Okay, so once again, I apologize there. Corey Johnson's video there was way too quiet. I don't think you guys could have heard that. But basically, he took the stage right after Hinman gave his speech, and he says it's very clear from Hinman's speech that XRP is not a security, right? So that's where we're at with that one. And I just think that it's so ridiculous, and people want to attack us for just trying to protect ourselves. We're the ones that got attacked by the SEC, right? It wasn't just Ripple, Brad, and Chris. As you can see, there's other lawsuits now too that are people that are trying to make claims that our XRP is a security, right? Can you guys still not hear me? Or are we good now? You guys should be good now. You guys still can't hear me? That's crazy. Turn up your volume. Now you're yelling. Okay. So, yeah. As I was saying, guys, people are mad because we're having a conversation about defending ourselves against the corrupt government, and I just think it's pretty incredible how we've been attacked. And for me, I've been talking to multiple lawyers trying to figure out this deal. There's multiple lawsuits that are already underway that have been filed, and so for me and for where most of us have been, just give us a level playing field. Just give us a level playing field, right? And to me, now that this thing's moved forward, and as Jeremy Hogan, made it very clear here, it is all about the post-sale obligations. If you wrap XRP in an investment contract, yes, you make it a security. You don't make the underlying XRP a security. You make that sale a security, an investment contract with expectations and obligations. So I think the way that this story ends for me, guys, is very simple. I think that all that's going to be determined is how Ripple is able to distribute the XRP currency that they are in possession of. XRP will be a currency, and I want people to be ready for the judge to actually come out and say that, yes, some of these do constitute an investment contract security. And this could be the catalyst that brings us back down below that 25-cent level. Like I said, it could be Binance collapsing, it could be Tether, or it could be the judge coming out and serving up what would be deemed by the marketplace and by the news media as a loss for Ripple, because the judge is going to come out and say that, yes, some of these are investment contract securities. But, right, hopefully we'll get clarity as far as XRP itself is a currency, but some of these post-sale obligations and expectations do make some of the sales that Ripple conducted a investment contract security, right? To me, I'm not a lawyer, but just from my basic, simple understanding of this situation, that's how it should play out. That's what makes sense to me, based off of historical case precedent and Supreme Court case ruling, right? These are precedents that go back a very long time that make it clear what makes an investment a security. And even as David Schwartz says, right, investment, whether it gives you, what did he say? Whether it gives you rights or whether it gives you, I had to pull that back up. There's a very simple way to tell if something is a security or a commodity. If it gives you rights, it's a security. If it gives you abilities, it's a commodity. And that's all XRP does, is it gives you the ability to access some technology. Having an XRP token does not give you any rights to any company, right? You have no rights. You just own and you have the ability to use the currency, use the commodity. So to me, this is a very simple case, right? Is the case, are we going to get that ruling here in the next couple months? I really do hope so. Jeremy Hogan just gave us an update that within the next 45 days, we should be expecting a ruling from the judge. So it sounds like by the end of March, we should be very, very close to a ruling, folks. So I just want everyone to be prepared, though, for that ruling that will be deemed as a loss, right? That's going to be shared around. That could be a catalyst for a major pullback, and many people will misconstrue that, and they won't understand that. They'll see that, yes, some sales do constitute a security, and they're going to lose their mind, not understanding that the underlying currency is the underlying commodity XRP is not a security, but the way that it was packaged up by Ripple was an investment contract in some instances. Primarily, the R3 deal is the one that got exposed that we can all see. And in my mind, that does constitute a security, that sale. But the way that securities are offered, all that matters is then they have to be registered with the SEC, and going forward, they would still be able to distribute XRP in that way, but they would be offering a security offering, in that they would be, if they put in expectations or obligations. Now, if they just went to an exchange, or they went to a bank and said, you give us dollars, we're going to give you XRP, that's the deal, that's not a security. So Ripple would still be able to distribute their XRP in escrow. They would just kind of have to change the way that they've done that, which they've already done, which that's the other key factor, key piece of evidence that I'm using to come to this conclusion. So I want everybody to remain calm while we go through and finish off this liquidity crisis. No matter what's going to come at us next, let's stay together here right now. Let's understand where I'm coming from, and I just speak on my behalf. I'm an XRP holder who's pissed off here because I'm in America and my government has attacked me and put a cloud on my property. I'm trying to figure out how to protect this asset. I do think that, and I do hope that this case outcome will give us clarity and that we will be able to move forward. But I do have contingency plans, right? I always have contingency plans, and I have major preparations that have been made for those worst case scenarios, right? So you guys know where I'm at. We're going to continue to press forward. At this time, I do want to take some questions. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Cheers, everyone. Let's open this up for Q&A. I do want to apologize for running late to my show and not having this as dialed in as I normally do in order through my sections. So I do apologize, but thank you for hanging in here with me tonight, guys. Appreciate you. It's really sad the way the government has treated the American people the past few years. Absolutely, Rhonda. It's actually criminal, and that's why we have to take action. We have to get the lawyers involved. We have to figure out what we need to do, and what claims do we need to file, what class action lawsuits are underway. What can we do? What can we do? We got to dodge their attacks, but then we also got to be ready to throw the left hook. And that's what we're doing, right? We're just good people trying to figure this thing out. Got to be ready. Got to, jab, jab, right hook. So. Great show tonight. Thank you, Dex. Appreciate you guys. The dip will be a blessing. Absolutely. Absolutely. We can always leave the country if we need. That's the thing, Eric, is I want to stay here. I love this country. I love the opportunity that we have here. And I want to make it better. We already have a good start. They're trying to destroy everything that made it great, but I'm trying to resist that. How do you opt out of using the CBDC? Well, Rhonda, that's why I got silver. Okay. And that's why I hold XRP too. That's why I hold my digital assets that I can use to transfer value. And then I also hold silver that I can use to conduct a transaction as well. So for me, it's going to be tough to avoid the CBDC system, but I want to have that option, right? I want to have that option. I don't know how bad it gets. I don't know how much control they are able to get through the CBDC. And that's another part of the fight that we're in. With the CBDCs here in America, we're trying to have a respect for privacy and individual rights while we issue a CBDC. Because to me, I'm not scared of a CBDC. I'm scared of what they could make the CBDC do, right? For all intents and purposes, we already are working with a CBDC. We're already working with a digital currency. Is your contingency XL? Well, Maximus, XLM is part of the strategy. XRP lying in the house. It's all scripted, folks. God's protected XRP and price discovery shows 562,500 as of 12/31/22. The updated price from XRP Lion. And God bless XRP Lion. And God bless the United States for giving us free speech. If somebody wants to say that XRP is going to be worth $1 million, they can. If somebody wants to say that silver's going to $1,000, they can. Right? How far we've gone. This cancel culture that's creeped into the XRP community. The central banks have changed, haven't they? Haven't they, brother? Yeah. Yeah. The central banks have changed. Their tone has changed. Appreciate you, brother. What an incredible thing, free speech. God bless it. Exactly my point, Dex. Everyone who has a bank card or a debit card is already using a type of CBDC. That's exactly it. We're already digital. You guys are all using your Cash App, your PayPal, Venmo. Can XRPH track your status? So that's the thing, tracking DeFi. I actually was about to pull up a post by Scam Detective that kind of dissected XRP healthcare. I decided not to share it tonight. Maybe I'll share it at some other point. I already called out the pump and dump that took place with XRP healthcare. And so I put out a video when XRP healthcare was pumping, and I said, guys, be ready for this thing to pull back in a major way. And I got attacked for that. I got hated for attacking some legit project on the XRP ledger. Well, it wasn't attacking the project. It wasn't attacking the fundamentals or calling it a scam. It was just understanding price action, price discovery, and what happens after, which is price pullback. And so I called that out to try to save people. Now, I did have a post though, and I would encourage you guys. I'm just going to say this because I don't want to bash the project without putting in a serious amount of time. I've bookmarked the post. It was put out by like Scam Detective or something like that on Twitter. But there's some red flags. And I said from the very beginning when I just took a quick glance and read over the website and what they were trying to do and how it was set up and seeing that they already had some influencers shilling it, I said, watch out, guys. I see some red flags already. I see some embers. And sure enough, it's bad. But I would just encourage everybody to go do your research on XRP healthcare. We have a new TikTok and Twitter censor. What are you talking about, Jimmy? Aunt Lynn online 10 spot. I appreciate you, Aunt Lynn. Thank you. Both parties have been corrupted by corporate greed. I'm not supporting either at this point. You're a smart young man, Zach, and I appreciate you. Take back your country. God bless. God bless you. You understand that I'm right there with you. I'm calling out. And for me, I want to be leading the charge calling out the Republicans. I want to be leading the charge calling out the Republicans because to me, it's almost worse to tell us you're going to do something, to tell us you're going to hold people accountable, but then to do the complete opposite and then just get back in line and sell us out. See, to me, I see people that are just very blatant. They hate America. They're trying to undermine this country. They're trying to take away our rights. They're trying to force me to live in their reality that I don't want to participate in. I don't care if they do. I mean, they're mindless bots that are going into their own demise. I say, good luck, God bless. I don't want to participate, but they want to force me to live in their way. Now, on the other side, I see, and I even see some people on the left. It's not really a left-right thing. I see some people on the left that are finally coming around with some common sense, things that they're working on, and that's good, right? But I hate the side that's going to lie to me and tell me, hey, there's going to be a new day. There's a new day coming. We're going to do something, And I see that from some of these Republicans, they told us a new day was coming. I want to see a little bit more, and in fact, none of them have gone hard enough, in my opinion. Okay. But then on the left, I got Elizabeth. I got a plan for that Warren. We know how that program's going to work out too, right? When the banks cut you your checks, when the banks sponsor your campaign, we know what you're going to say. Okay. Are you trying to tell me you're a Biden supporter? I really bet that Joe did a great job tonight. I'm sure that he updated us on how great it's going. I'm sure that he celebrated defending this country against the balloon. Both parties are two heads of the same snake. We have a uni party in truth. And that's what I mean. Some issues for me, it's just clear as day. It's not political. It's not political, right? Give us regulations for cryptocurrency, distributed ledger technology, and set us free. That's not political. Let's move. Let's go. Why the games? Set the rules of the road, give us regulation, and then we'll worry about going after those who are corrupt at the SEC. See, I don't want us to go through I want to do both, right? Give us clarity, let us start building businesses, and then we can focus on going after the bad actors. Do you think that we are going to default like the BOA execs are preparing for? I do think that we have to reset, we have to restructure, we have to reevaluate our situation. 100%. Does the dollar die? I don't think that the dollar dies. I think that the dollar as we know it dies off, gets reborn as the new US CBDC. Literally took one Series 65 practice exam and hardly 5 questions in it. Asked which one is not a good way to determine if a asset is under or overvalued, and if you have already guessed, it was market cap. Well, and that's the thing. That's the thing with the traditional space, right? The traditional space, a lot of the financial advisors that are going to show you the Wall Street program don't even understand distributed ledger technology. So they're basically just ignorant to a whole asset class, a whole new asset class that's going to run the world. As the MasterCard CEO just told us tonight, everything will be tokenized. And think about that. Your financial advisor who's going to tell you what to do with your money, he is going to give you financial advice. Unlike me, I'm not going to give you financial advice. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. But the guy who's supposed to be certified and licensed to give you financial advice doesn't even understand a whole asset class that's available for you to invest in. Zach for president. Appreciate that. Thank you guys. I'm preparing to make the political run later on in my life. I got way too much to do before I got time for politics. UK digital pound holdings may be limited to 20,000 per wallet. Anything over that will be stored in a traditional bank account. Yeah, Bobby, it's interesting to see how they're putting limits on it. And that's where we get into trouble, right? Is they try to put limits, they try to control it, they try to give you incentives to be a good citizen, a good slave, obey, and you're going to get extra CBDC credits this month. Good job, peasant. Here you go. Little extra bread for you. And that's what I mean, Donovan, is that, you got Marjorie Taylor Greene walked into the Capitol building with a big white balloon on a string. I'm over joke. I don't think we're at a joking matter, and some of these guys, and you can see it. I mean, I guess we're in the social media phase, but it's like, golly, now we got politicians that are clickbaiting us. That's literally where we're at. We got politicians clickbaiting us. Yeah, but market cap is for private, not public. Well, market cap's a good measure of like stocks or a commodity, right? I mean, it is useful for some asset classes. That's hilarious. I know you guys find it funny. I know you guys like when they do these stunts. I just want less stunts, more deals. I get it. They're both doing stunts on both sides. I love you guys in the comments, John. Balloon is common satellite dislodged from water vapor ceiling. Uh-oh. The waters above, you might say? Appreciate you. You guys always crack me up in the chat, man. UK digital pound 20 cap is only temporary until they see it works. Then caps will be lifted. Read the documents. Okay, thank you for correcting us. Once again, do you have ways to move outside of the CBDC system is my question. Right? I don't care what CBDC. I mean, I'm going to be putting up the fight here in America, speaking out against the CBDC that takes away our privacy, limits our free speech abilities, any sort of censorship or any sort of control that's implemented through the CBDC. I will be standing up against that. Other than that, what can I actually do about it? I can stack up some silver so that I can move outside of the system if I want to. If they say it's illegal to eat meat, well, okay. Thanks for the suggestion. Thanks for the suggestions. Hopefully my farmer accepts silver. If he doesn't, I have other things I can trade him. I got real world skills. I got cash. I'm sure I'll have a CBDC wallet. I'll have some CBDCs if that's what he wants to get paid in. I got other precious metals. I got assets offline, ready to move, ready to barter, ready to trade, whatever it takes. And I really hope that it doesn't come to that, but who knows? You guys crack me up. The Constitution states only gold and silver are legal tender. That Constitution's an interesting document, isn't it? Or as they tell us now, as they teach us in the schools, it's an old relic of the past that needs to evolve. It needs to evolve. You know, and I think the MasterCard CEO's comments from tonight kind of reaffirm where I'm at with this whole thing is everything gets tokenized. Does all the money go onto the XRP ledger? No. Okay. But you're going to see every commodity tokenized on the XRP ledger. You're going to see real estate tokenized on the XRP ledger. You're going to see everything tokenized on distributed ledger technology. And XRP works so damn good. And there's so many people that want to build on the XRP ledger that I think that we're going to see just about everything built on top of the XRP ledger. Whether you want to conduct your real estate transaction on the XRPL, whether you want to buy insurance on I mean, who knows, right? We've gone so far. I mean, like even the Reaper coin, right? With Patrick's project, it's a unique idea, you know, to use the XRP ledger. And the whole point of the coin, right, is to go out and destroy other coins to bring about value in that way. Interesting concept. It's just another utility that's on the XRP ledger. But I think that we're about to see, as he says, everything will be tokenized. It's just a matter of the XRPL updating. We finally got the NFT updates, right? You're going to see metaverses on the XRPL. It's all coming. It's all coming. Is there going to be other ledgers that have more of the real estate transactions on them? Maybe, right? Did you see that Swift announced that they would be turning on the CBPR Plus messaging system will go active? Yes, on March. Yeah. Swift is moving. Absolutely. They're all moving rather quickly now, right? Every single day. Matic is the next ETH. They need each. They need each other, but Matic is cheaper and faster. Bro, why didn't you join my link? I don't know what link you're talking about. Where did you send me a link? The only place I check is Twitter and my email. And by the way, if you guys are trying to get in touch with me, just send me a message to my website. There's a contact page, and that just comes through an email right to me. What's the news with Adam? Any updates? No news with Adam. And that's the thing. I mean, maybe we'll still be surprised by the Adam coin, but as I've said from the very beginning, it's bullshit. Here we are, a month later. Got everyone riled up and spread a bunch of FUD for no reason. I still like Adam. I still think he's a good guy. I appreciate that he's a veteran. I love him for that. But here we are. Where you at, bro? It's funny. I actually seen Adam on Instagram. He's over there. I see he's been making some moves. I see him posting on the gram, acting like he's moving around doing some deals. I see him trying to do a little something. He's a cute little guy. Cute little guy, what he's working on. You have a gift for me? Okay. Okay, yeah, shoot me a message if you have a gift for me. I got a PO box if you guys want to send me something. Zach, my wife saw a bank building going up today. Why would they be building brick and mortar bank buildings when they will soon be gone? Well, Donovan, good question. And you're seeing many of them are shutting down, right? But I still think that there is going to be a place and a setting where people are still going to want to come in and do transactions and deal, taking out loans. It's just the whole banking system consolidates like a lot, right? It's going to consolidate in a major, major way. But I don't think that every banker is going to lose his job. Banks are closing in Canada. There you go. You guys cracked me up in the comments. Where did the gift guy go? It's funny how these guys have came and went, right? We've outlasted quite a few of them, haven't we? These little guys come, they make some claims, make some TikToks. I see my new term is the TikTok and the Twitter talking heads. That's my new name for them. The TikTok and the Twitter talking heads. Whole lot of talking, not much of a program. Good luck, God bless to them. Hope it works out. What do you think about Core? Doesn't turn me on. It doesn't turn me on. You would think if they had a program, they would be too busy. Yeah, it's funny, Jimmy, right? The Twitter and the TikTok talking heads. I don't know if you saw my question. Did you leave the red folder committee? Bitboy Crypto had a green folder. I told him it wasn't as cool as Zach's red. Did he actually? No way. Did Bitboy get in the folder game? I know. I'm not supposed to do it. I was told not to. But I am still going to keep my documents in my red folder. Sorry, not sorry. This red folder works pretty good. Has some utility. It keeps precious documents in my research that I'm conducting safe. I don't want to lose them like my president. And I don't want to lose my documents. My documents aren't classified, but I don't want to lose them. You know I had to, right? You know I had to. I'm not getting rid of it. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As far as did I leave the committee? I'm done addressing it. I'm done addressing it, guys. I'll just say this. I got included on an email chain. I do think that the conversation's important. I will continue to receive the emails. Will I sign the proposal that I have right now? Will I sign the proposal that gets amended or changed? I don't know. I'll let you guys know. For the time being, I'm still in the conversation. Yes, I'm still having a conversation with people, with lawyers, with investment bankers about how to protect XRP and about how to maneuver against our government, which that's what people need to understand is that simply taking a legal posture and a legal move is all it really is. The odds of it going through are nothing. I've always said that. I've said the models are flawed. I don't agree with the proposal in 100% terms. I'm not ready to sign this deal. But I do think that, the conversation's important. Okay. Never said that XRP's 50K. I never said that XRP's 122K. My good friend XRP Line says that God told him it's 500,000. And I respect his opinion. I respect, whatever he has to say. Because we're in America. We have free speech here, right? So, there's many misrepresentations. Many people are confused, but I've already put out my piece on it as far as where I come, my genuine intentions. If people are still blind to that and they still want to hate, they still want to troll, they still want to slander my reputation, I just say good luck, God bless, and they better watch what they say. They better watch what they say. Okay? I haven't shredded the term sheet. I still got the term sheet. Gonna keep it. I don't know. I might frame it up in my office. Can somebody tell me though that did Bitboy Crypto actually have a green folder? Because that would be hilarious to see how far the red folder movement has grown. You bet I get some enjoyment out of that. Let's have some fun during a bear market. Come on. Okay? Joe Biden gets to take the classified documents home. I want to keep some documents in my house. What's the first thing that you're going to buy after you make your first 10 million? Now that's a question, Donovan. That's a great question. For me, 10 mil has always been the I've made it number. 10 mil is always the okay. Like, as long as you don't have any major you don't mess up in a major way, you should be good. You should be good. So you have a Corvette in your garage? No, I don't like Corvettes. Corvettes aren't my thing. What were we talking about? 10 mil is the number in my mind that I've always had for, from that point. And then you have enough that you can really leverage it, right? As you come into that type of wealth, it's going to be easier. And when you compound at 10%, right? Or even at 5%, you move the needle in a major way. And so for me, the first thing that I'm going to buy when I'm at 10 mil, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be an investment. I don't think about, oh, I'm going to reward myself with a Lambo. Oh, I'm going to reward myself with a beach house, or I'm going to reward myself. The only thing, but I don't look at it as a reward. I just look at it as a necessity, is I want my own farm ranch, right? So that's all I think about. I think about the security that I have to have. I might have to build a wall. I don't know. We'll see about, I shouldn't have said that. Might have to put up a fence. And I think about what I'm going to be able to do just as far as, getting my children educated. I want to, be able to afford the best programs for them. And, probably some vacations, take them on some vacations. But I don't know. I don't really think of rewarding myself. I just think of what's the next way to compound it. What's the next way to grow it? I don't think of, a boat is I don't have a dream car. I'm not going to buy a private jet. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but I mostly think of my security, and then I think of my own ranch, like just leaving society. It's kind of sad, but that's what I think of. I don't think of, I'm going to go do this and have a good time. I think of, how am I going to protect my family? I'm late to the talk. What's the XRP prediction? A compound. Exactly. That's what it is. Yeah. All I think about is my compound. You're very down to earth. Love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tractor. I already got equipment. I already have a lot. Yeah. I already have a lot of equipment. At least you see what you are wanting to accomplish. That's the thing. To me, I've noticed that sometimes you're not going to absolutely know what, one, you don't know what life's going to throw at you. And sometimes you might not be sure that you're taking the right next step, but you just take that step and then you just keep on moving forward and you adjust from there. As long as you have that end goal in mind and you understand where you're going and what direction you're going, then when you come across day-to-day decisions and actions that you have to make, it's very clear, right? When you understand whether or not this is going to bring value to my life, will this move my program forward? Is this going to move me closer to my goal? Having that clarity is very, very important. And one of the best things that's happened to me is having my daughter, for sure. That having my daughter was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Even for my business. I mean, it kicked me up. It lit a fire under my ass. And I've never been I was already motivated. I was already successful. And I was already on a very good trajectory. But that made me, almost like a war footing. It put me into battle mode, nonstop. What is your goal? Well, I want to be able to provide a very good life for my family. I want to be able to take care of others within my community. I want to spend most of my time being able to help others build their own businesses and figure out their investments and how to. I want to help others build and preserve wealth. Really, is what the program is. the chicken and egg situation on purpose. That's interesting because I actually had an article about the chickens. I didn't know if you wanted another chicken article tonight. Who wants a chicken article? Here we go. We got to talk about we're talking about the chickens every update now, aren't we? Fire at New Zealand's largest egg farm kills 75,000 hens amid national shortage. Isn't it curious how many food production, processing, and distribution centers are going down in flames all around the world? Almost as if something is interesting that's taking place here with the eggs, isn't it? What a great return. We should have invested in chickens, I guess. Another real estate data point. Goldman Sachs has said San Jose, Austin, Phoenix, and San Diego will see home prices decline peak to trough of more than 25%. I'll tell you right now, I'm in one of these high-flying markets as well, and so I'm expecting a pretty good pullback. I think I was listening to Nick Gurley, his update today, and in my area, real estate is about 30% overvalued. Price to earnings. From a price to earnings standpoint, it's overvalued by about 30% according to his data and metrics. What did they did find out a little something with the eggs, didn't they? They got a little healing power, don't they? Interesting. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this session. I just want to say thank you for all the real ones that are still here with us, plugging away every single day as things get tough, as the FUD's at an all-time high, and the attacks have been nonstop lately. That's fine. Pull up, have the adult conversation. We'll get you tapped in while you guys are arguing about nonsense, making up claims and lies and accusations. We're over here making money and just continuing to step forward and focus on our program that's going to take us and help us take advantage of this transfer of wealth. Okay? It's a very simple situation here. And we have very genuine intentions with everything that we do. We show you guys. We wear it on our sleeve. How we feel, what we invest in. It's all there for you guys to see in the most transparent way. And I just want to say thank you for everyone who's been showing me support over the last weekend. And I just couldn't do it without you guys. It's just been an absolute pleasure here. And we're going to do another session probably tomorrow, okay? So be ready for that. And really looking forward to it. Everything is on over at my website. If you're looking to get your cryptocurrency, get some precious metals, it's all over there, okay? Take advantage of the opportunity here. While these prices are suppressed on these assets that are going to run the new financial system, make sure you swoop them up before they send it, all right? You guys take care, stay safe, and God bless you all. Thank you so much.